Testing 1 2. Test 1 2.
morning, everyone. Hello, hello. All right, I made a human error. So sorry. The first pin is 163. So I'll give you a second to get to that, and we're gonna do this. It is 163. Again, not 138. I don't know where I got that. Here we go.
Good morning, folks. Oh, that's lovely. All right, my name is Annie Collins, and I serve as president-elect of the Board of Trustees of the Unitarian Universalist Church here in Spartanburg. Welcome to UUCS. We strive to be a beloved community of warmth, love, and support across all of our differences. This is a welcoming congregation where we are all welcome as we each are. If you are visiting with us this morning, we would love to meet you. Visitor cards may be found in the pocket on the back of the chair in front of you. Please feel free to fill one out and place it in the offering plate during service so we can better connect with you. There's a lot happening. I feel like I say that every time I do announcements, but it's true. And there have been some announcements added this morning, so bear with me. In an effort to streamline our communications, you will find a monthly Connect available in the lobby, and then a weekly one-page executive summary in your order of service. Thank you to Mission Objective 3 Interconnectedness Team and Ann Garner for experimenting with how best to advance our communications at UUCS every single week. Of all that is happening, here are a few announcements that I'm going to highlight. 1. Building and Grounds Committee would like to thank the 16 people who turned out yesterday to beautify and tend to the church grounds. Thank y'all. Anthills were treated, trees were trimmed, ivy was removed off fences and several beds, leaves and maple seeds blown off, weeds pulled, wood chips dispersed, a playground structure was erected. Go check that out. Cleanup was continued and work was begun on placing security lights around the church building perimeter. Thank you so much to Alice, Bob Craig, DJ, Dwayne, Fred, Jeanette, John, Judy, Karen, Chris, Naomi, Michael, Rick, Ruth, and Virginia for all of your hard work. Great. All right, announcement 2 of 4. Annual fund drive goal was to reach $260,000 from 120 households. We are so close, you guys. So close. So as of today, we have raised $248,020 from 123 households. So we've exceeded our goal for household participation. Thank you for everyone who's contributed. It's time to wrap this thing up, though, sadly, and so today is the last day of the campaign. You can find an intent to give form in the sanctuary lobby, fill it out, drop it in the offering plate. This annual fund drive is for all of us, no matter the size of the pledge we make. And it's by working together that we fuel the incredible ministries of this congregation. So thank you so much for everybody who has made this annual fund such a great success. Yes, y'all are awesome. All right, 3 of 4. Brenda Lee Price books, north of Maine, there are still 5 available. South of Maine, there are still 5 available. They are $25 a piece, and you can see Pam in the lobby after service, but before the congregational meeting if you are interested. And last but certainly not least, there is a congregational dialogue today, following the service. This is going to be talking about all the changes that are happening in our congregation and the many paths forward that we can choose. Please come. Your input is needed and desired. Many plans are making a ton of headway in improving our facility, expanding the work of our social justice, updating our bylaws, experimenting with more intergenerational Sunday services, and challenging ourselves to be an ever more welcoming community. These are all outcomes of our 2-year mission vision covenant process and the 4 mission objectives we voted for at our last annual meeting. The Long Range Planning Committee and the board would like to share some progress and ask for your feedback as we choose our way forward. There will be food, there will be coffee, and there will be childcare available for the youngest UUs through the 5th grade. So please come, and thank you for all of the energy and momentum that y'all have created.
Good morning. My name is Robin Carter, and I am so honored to be your worship associate this morning. I add my welcome and also invitation to stay after service today for the congregational dialogue. It will be a great time to practice the words you're about to hear about what our response and work is together as we light our chalice this morning. For everyone to live. The response to war is to live like siblings. The response to injustice is to share. The response to despair is a limitless trust and hope. The response to prejudice and hatred is forgiveness. To work for community is to work for humanity. To work for peace is to work for a true political solution. It is to work to enable everyone to live and taste the secret joys of the human person united to the eternal.
Good morning, everyone. We're about to play and sing a song that will be in Bengali. So if you're trying to understand what I'm singing, you won't know. It's in a completely different language. But I will read for you the meaning of the words because they are outstanding. The words will mean, the same stream of life that runs through my veins night and day runs through the world and dances in rhythmic measures. It's the same life that shoots in joy through the dust of the earth in numberless blades of grass and breaks into tumultuous waves of leaves and flowers. It's the same life that is rocked in the ocean cradle of birth and of death, in ebb and in flow. I feel my limbs are made glorious by the touch of this world of life. And my pride is from the life throb of ages dancing in my blood this moment. tomare baje bashi sheki shohgan she shur te gag bohami bodre tomare baje bashi sheki shohgan damor hey shegan.
Well, wow. I had no idea we were going to a concert this morning. The sheer gifts in this place. My goodness. Some of you may be or may recall the words from a recent meditation offered by Davlin Athena a few weeks ago. She spoke about energy and really time being a series of compression and expansion. We see that in the waves that we create in the rippling bowl. Compression and expansion, contract and spread, ebb and flow. Seemingly opposite things happening, but which are quite literally components of how our universe is knit together. There's a parallel to our rippling bowl. Sorrows are lessened, joys are multiplied. Let us now share the concerns and joys by releasing a stone or a shell into the water, as is our custom here. All are invited to participate in this UUCS tradition and take a moment to reflect on and acknowledge the mutual support of our community. Come. week, we come together as a congregation to speak the words of our covenant together. A covenant is a promise, and I don't know about you, but I much more value the keeping of a promise than I do the making of a promise. And so that's what we do here each week. We recommit to keeping a promise we make to each other and ourselves. It captures who we are, what we value, and how we strive to live together in this world. The words of the covenant are printed in today's order of service. For those of you watching virtually, it's viewable on your screen. I invite you to join me now in speaking these living words together. With courage we say, we are a people of faith and hope. Together we covenant to strive to become our better selves, to honor both the critical mind and the generous heart, to prove that diversity need not mean divisiveness, and to respond to systems of violence and oppression with the power of a love beyond belief. I have been out of the state and under the weather for the past 2 Sundays, and I have missed seeing your faces. Take a moment and look around and find a face that maybe you haven't seen in a while, or maybe an all-new face of someone you haven't met yet. Consider greeting one another an act of service to this community where you're making someone's day more enjoyable while still being considerate of everyone's personal preferences for greetings. Feel free to remain seated or move around the sanctuary during this time, but we will now take a few moments to share a welcome to those around you.
If there are any children who would like to join me, or children at heart, I would love to have you join me up front. I know I saw a few out there.
I'm a man child.
Yay!
I'm not like Pee Wee Herman, but I'm kind of like Bugs Bunny.
I like it, I like it. Wherever you want. I am kind of limited, so I think I am going to sit right here. That way I can show the pictures, because I have a fabulous book. Has anyone heard of Todd Parr?
No.
Todd Parr is one of my favorite authors and illustrators. He makes some of the best children's books. And I wanted to read the Spring Book to you today. Wake up! Spring is coming! It might already be here. Every day, the weather is different. I had trouble dressing for spring this morning because it was so chilly. Trees are blooming. Everything is turning green. And change is in the air. And they are celebrating International Women's Day in this picture. Spring is here. The birds are singing. Babies are being born. We are cleaning out our closets and planting gardens. Everyone is sneezing. Achoo!
Sorry to spray you.
Spring is the time of year to learn new things. Okay, well then, I'm going to stop writing this book and I'm going to open my first restaurant, Taco Todd's. The end. Love, Todd. Surprise! April Fools, don't worry. This story is not over yet. Spring is a time to dance in the rain. Celebrate traditions with family and friends. Play hide and seek. And love the earth. Spring is a time for festivals. Eating fresh fruits and vegetables. I'm ready for strawberries. Having picnics. Hugging moms on Mother's Day and every day. And honoring heroes. Now go roll down some hills. Happy spring. Spring is a time of year to celebrate special holidays and discover all the beautiful things on the earth. The end. Love, Todd. I like this book because it shows us all the different things that are happening during the season of spring. Spring is a long season, just like all the seasons, and we forget some of the things that happen in spring are considered springtime. And one of those things, is anyone dyeing Easter eggs this year? No? One of the things that I really like to do around this time of year is dye Easter eggs, but I probably will not be doing that this year. So I wanted to put a plug in for how we can all have fun with some Easter eggs. I have lots of cardboard eggs out in the lobby, and I would love for people to take one home and decorate it and bring it back next Sunday to help us decorate. Because not only do we celebrate Easter, we celebrate Earth Day, and one of the things that we can do for Earth Day is to reuse, recycle, and we can celebrate Easter by reusing and recycling as well. And there are lots of birthdays, lots of babies being born, as we heard. I hope that you are all having a wonderful springtime. Are you all having a good springtime? Yeah. Excellent, excellent. Remember that spring is all about new growth, and find something where you can grow and where you can learn new this spring.
In a cemetery, I want to push up daisies.
All right. Go plant some daisies.
Don't worry, gravity works, but I'm a little slow.
As we enter into this time of focus on generosity, we remember that sharing our gifts can take on a lot of different forms. Joining together to give financial gifts supports the work of this church so that we can fund the causes we cherish, do the work we value, and work alongside various organizations in our community who share our mission. Our Share the Plate recipient this month is Global Refuge, formerly Lutheran Immigrant and Refugee Service. Please contribute as you are able to help these vulnerable folks in a land strange to them, who are our neighbors, community members, and fellow human beings. Half of all undesignated Sunday offerings and all designated offerings for Share the Plate will go directly to Global Refuge, an organization near and dear to our hearts. You can also give online to ensure that your generosity gets counted along so many others who call this church home. Let us bring our gifts.
I pulled into the church parking lot this morning, I was coming in very fast from a really busy morning. And I'm not the only one who had a morning like this today. And I almost collided head on with a double parked pile of mulch. First, I want to express gratitude to everybody who gave their time and their acts of service to cultivate the beautiful grounds that we are enjoying today, the time that they gave yesterday and for years, the work that people have done. Let's give those people a round of applause, please. After the service today, we're going to have a dialogue, and I do want to urge you to come. There will be a lot of food, be a lot of conversation. We have a lot happening in the life of the congregation, and it's been building for a long time. 2 years of discernment work, and prior to that, almost 5 years of working on dialogue and how we make decisions together. This is a process that builds, but when it breaks open, it really rushes forward. And we are in that moment now, and it's important when that happens to stop and reconnect and to listen to each other again and to keep being connected in our discernment. And part of that is about what we do with the grounds and how we work. Part of it is about what we do about parking lots. And do we have space to double park our mulch? And maybe that's the wave of the future that we want to be on the vanguard of. Right? These are the things for us to get together, and so I urge you to come and to just listen and hear and praise the work that so many people in the congregation are doing. And then to share your ideas and your concerns, your hesitations. All of that gives us traction to find a way forward together. So please come. I was on a college campus earlier this week for spring break on college tours. And I stopped to look at something in the midst of all kinds of fervor. There were students going everywhere, undergraduates, graduates, PhD candidates. There were professors everywhere moving around. We were near a dining hall and people were converging at the lunch hour, fighting over the marvelous display of multiple wood-fired ovens at this campus's cantina. It was an incredible array of culinary choices. There were protests happening on campus and counter-protests happening on campus, and researchers busy with their research, but also anxious for the funding of their research. There's just so much going on this thriving campus. And I stopped to look at something and found myself lost. The group that I was with had moved on without me. And it had been decades since I had been on this campus. And so I started to try to find my way. And in the midst of all of this, by some brilliant design, folks that had built this place placed a forest right in the middle of campus, right beside the chapel at the heart of campus. Little walking paths that move from engineering schools to campus life and humanities quad. And all of that busyness, all of that conflict between contrary views, all of that anxiety about how we make our way in a fraught world, all of it was still there. But in and through it all was this kind of electrical hum. The green leaves of all of these trees budding out, and the aliveness of that living place running through me. I felt so much peace just in that moment of being lost in the world. And then my phone went off. And my son, my only son, the son whom I love, reached out to me and said, "Where are you?" I don't know. Follow my signal, come find me. This is my son speaking to me. In this world of conflict, a living world of life that touches us more deeply. And a voice calls us to our purpose, calls us home. Share silence with me. It's an artist that I know. Some of her work is digital, and it is political. It is a way of calling people to a better life together. And in her life, she has commitments to stand up for the underdog and to speak out when someone has been sidelined. It's a very brave person, not afraid of a fight when a fight is required. Her core practice is to create these images of forests or sometimes of rivers. The motifs are repeated, but they're never repetitive. It's always a new entry into that image of the beauty of the earth. And they all present as a kind of doorway, a sort of portal. Not just an image of a tree or a stand of trees, but a way in. As if this person had practice of trying to touch something in that beauty that allowed them to engage with energy in all of the challenges of life. These works are not just well crafted by a knowledgeable hand, they are felt. There's a presence there, and if you turn off the usual lighting in a space and let the natural light fall on them, they seem to come out of the canvas and to glow. Have a luminosity as if they were alive themselves. This Passover this week coincides with Holy Week in both the Western and Orthodox Christian churches. I had a professor in graduate school who was different than everybody else. In a very progressive institution, he was conservative. An Orthodox Jew, steeped in his tradition and his profoundly searched commitments. He was beloved by everyone in this institution, even though he would challenge almost everything that people said. Something about him that people trusted, even though they disagreed with him. And the value he brought to that institution was way beyond the usual contribution of an individual to a group. because of that relational trust and because of his insight, his brilliance, his methodology, and his scholarship was so trustworthy, so substantiated, even when his conclusions were so opposite those of others. I remember taking a class with him in the Jewish liturgical year and learning the scriptural references and the rabbinical tradition around Passover. He relished teaching us that if you look at the textual record in the two forms of scripture that are the Jewish canon, you read with a kind of archaeological view. You can discern that under rabbinical teachings of monotheism and nationalist teachings about the creation of the Israelite kingdom, underneath it is a layer of polytheistic paganism, where the celebration of spring and the renewal of life is an image of life for the whole community. This conservative Orthodox teacher, loving to provoke everyone in the divinity school with this depth of thought and insight, this analysis. And what he was saying was, we celebrate spring. We celebrate its beauty and its life that can't be located in one place, but that surrounds us and infuses us. It comes from every direction. And whatever our theologies are, whatever our ideas about divinity may be, the reality of the living world, just the pure reality of this electrical green and this blossoming, buzzing world, it defies one central location. It is energy flowing everywhere and through us. And it is life. For a lot of us, it's been a long winter. I'm so glad you can laugh about it. We'll just leave it at that. The things that we have worked on are not finished. There's a world of conflict around us, and we are part of it, and we have responsibilities. The renewal of spring offers us also new life. Whatever our theologies may be, we are living a story of rejuvenation here today. So I want to ask us just for a few moments to rest in the beauty of spring. You can see it all around us. You don't have to close your eyes, you can just look out the windows. See and feel, experience again the strange, restful energy circulating through all of this emerging life. An energy that we can feel moving through our bodies too. For those of us that find ourselves lost, not sure of where we are or what we're supposed to be doing. For those of us very sure of our purpose and scared of what it asks of us. For those of us caught in conflicts that we wish would go away but know that they won't. Whatever the challenges that we're living, take this moment of awkward silence lost in a world at odds with itself. And let the beauty of spring fill you again. Let this peace run through your body. We can argue all day long about what this energy is, where it comes from, what its meaning is. But for sure it is real, what we feel. Allow yourself to feel it now. One way to tell the story of Passover is of a man who was lost. He tried to flee the challenges of his life. One day in the spring, a tree came to life beside him, blossoming out in flowers like flames, and he felt an energy move through him. And he knew his purpose: to face a tyrant wielding unjust power, to lead his people to freedom. So I have bad news for you. The beauty of this spring, that energizing peace we feel, it calls to us not only to experience peace, but to remember our purpose and to strive again for the life that is for all people. When you are overwhelmed, touch this place of peace again. And then with courage, answer the voice that says, "Dad, where are you?"
If you will please join us in hymn number 132.
Our closing reading comes this morning from Sue Monk Kidd, a Southern American writer whose works frequently deal with themes of race, feminism, and religion. Of special interest for this congregation, her 2014 novel, The Invention of Wings, is based on the life of fellow South Carolinian Sarah Grimke, a 19th century abolitionist and women's rights pioneer. Hear now Kidd's words. Empathy is the most mysterious transaction that the human soul can have, and it's accessible to all of us. But we have to give ourselves the opportunity to identify, to plunge ourselves in a story where we see the world from the bottom up or through another's eyes or heart.
The same stream of life that runs through my veins night and day runs through the world and dances in rhythmic measures. It is the same life that shoots in joy through the dust of the earth and numberless blades of grass and breaks into tumultuous waves of leaves and flowers. It is the same life that is rocked in the ocean cradle of birth and of death, in ebb and in flow. I feel my limbs are made glorious by the touch of this world of life, and my pride is from the life throb of ages dancing in my blood this moment.